Good afternoon. St. Peter's Church just rang 4 beats of 4 o'clock. It's very charming. I'm in my garden here at Stewart Hall. The perfumery is right behind me. And I thought I would organize this and invite you for an afternoon, having a drink. I'm having some iced tea. Paula just finished serving tea in the garden. And tell you a wonderful story, a story of the Marie Celestia, which I have right here. That story is very dear to my heart. It's quite unusual how history, perfume, archaeologists get together and have something in common. Marie Celestia allowed us to do this. So the story goes like this. In 1864, during the American Civil War, they had blockade runners going from inland to the United States. They would stop in Bermuda, pack up, and then go and bring some ammunitions and goods for the Confederates to fight the war. Now, this blockade runner was called the Marie Celestia, was on its second run to go to Charleston, South Carolina. And of course, it had all the munitions and everything, but it also had some prohibited goods. So things like perfume and wine, who were not on the manifest of the ship. Now, the ship sinks in 1864. Apparently, the only person who died, the only casualty, was the chef on the ship, apparently, who went back to save some of his goods, the perfume and the wines, and everybody else was rescued. The ship sank right on the south shore of Bermuda, right across from the lighthouse, the Gibbs Lighthouse. And it's a diving spot. You can dive the Marie Celestia. There's a great dive shop there at the Southampton Princess that will take you there. My daughter's been diving the Marie Celestia quite a few times. I brought a picture of her, and I'm sure she's listening, so she'll be excited. This is my Marie Sophie, and she dived the Marie Celestia probably a dozen of times. And all the diver aficionados will love to go there because the padding wheel is still in very good shape, and there's corals growing around it, and it takes fabulous pictures. So so the Marie Celestia sank, and think 150 years later, 2011, there's a big storm in Bermuda, and in Bermuda we have over 300 shipwrecks around the island. It's the best place in the world to dive shipwrecks. And we have a custodian of historical shipwrecks, his name is Dr. Philippe Rouja, a great guy. And after each storm, his job is to go around the shipwrecks and to see, just discover what's intact, what's been damaged, and sometimes protect some areas that have been exposed. Well, when he arrived at the Marie Celestia in 2011, he discovered some artifacts, perfume, as well as some wine. So he really wanted to do this right. An archaeologist, he's caring about how things get done. So he called some professionals, and they organized a wonderful dig of the bow of the Marie Celestia where the artifacts were exposed. And 3 bottles of perfume were recovered. This is one of them. Put it away from the sun. Perfume does not like sun. And what's really special about this perfume is a few things. The first one is that we knew it was still intact because there was still the air bubble between the stopper and the liquid of the perfume. And the other fabulous thing is that it was hatched with the name of the perfume house. So Pièce and Lubin, London, which is a defunct perfume house now, but it was in London from about 1858, I would say, until the beginning of the year 1900s. And Pies, originally from Italy, was an amazing chemist. And what was really fascinating with this guy is that he wrote books about perfumery, and he's actually the first one to write book about the art of perfumery in the modern way. So he was a chemist, so he started to do fractional distillations and blending things together, and to write about it, write about formulas and how to make perfume and extract oils from plants, which is really, really fascinating. So when we opened the bottle in the lab, that was a really, really, really amazing experience. You know, anything that's been in a bottle for 150 years, when we opened it, really was like having the feeling of letting ghosts come out. And gosh, the stench that came out was unbelievable. Um, a lot of people left the building. It was very, very, very potent, and it was horrible. But the funny thing about it is it didn't last very long. Like, it was really, really bad, and then it was really like ghosts, and then poof, they were away. Off they were. And then we started really to smell and analyze, and it was really amazing how the fragrance darkened very quickly and how it changed very quickly. So it was very important to smell it very well exactly at that time. And the other thing that was very interesting about that fragrance, as I said before, is that it's Hetched, Pies and Lubin, London. So we did a lot of research about who that guy was. And Pies was one of the very first modern perfumer. And what I mean about modern perfumer is that he was really using chemistry, one of the first one to use chemistry to fraction essential oils and to make perfume as we make today. You know, it's not good enough to just take whole oils of rose or whole oils of vanilla, but you actually want to work with the specific molecules of those whole oils. And Pies was doing that. He was one of the first to do that. And what was brilliant is that Pies was also writing about that, and he published the very first book about the art of perfumery. Um, and he's also responsible for giving us this analogy of talking about perfumes using notes. And I have a little book here that to show you. It's really, really fascinating how Pies was suffering from synesthesia. Synesthesia is a fantastic phenomenon. Some people have it. I don't think I don't think it's something bad per se, except, so what happens with synesthesia is when one sense gets stimulated, for instance, you hear something, and then you have another sense that gets stimulated at the same time. So you taste it. So you hear something and you taste it. And in the case of Pies, the perfumer, he could, when he smelled, he could hear music. And he literally put some of those smells on the treble clef and on the bass clef. And from there, another analogy that we do in perfumery is the whole concept of accord. So when you put a few notes together, you create an harmonious accord from which you make perfumes. So we owe that to him, which was really cool. And I discovered that by doing all the research on Pies. And I think we forgot about that because we don't hear about that guy that much. Anyway, so what does the Marie Celestia smell like? The most fascinating thing. It smells beautiful. I'm wearing it today. Think back again, 150 years ago. We were very limited with what we had, and we all have this romantic idea that things were smelling better back then. But we were very limited with the oils that we could work with. So some of the oils that are in here, we still have today. But some of the, especially the solvents, we don't work with anymore. So this very much smells like grapefruit. It has some neroli, so that orange flower that's distilled. It also have some rosewood. There's a really nice rose scent to it. And then also a lot of musk and amber. And of course, it's done in the 21st century, but we really tried. What was very important for us is to capture what was in the head of Pierre and what he wanted to interpret when he created that perfume. 1864. These are the times of Queen Victoria. So Queen Victoria probably would have worn this fragrance, but she wouldn't wear it on her skin because in those days, perfume was not used to embellish yourself. Perfume was used to cover the stench from walking in the disgusting streets of London. So because it is what it was. I mean, people didn't bathe like we did. So the nobility, the people who had a lot of money, who could afford perfume, would wear it on their glove, on their scarves, on their capes, and they would cover their nose as they would walk along. And there was no such thing as perfume for ladies, for men. This was long before Guerlain told us that ladies should wear flowers and men should wear woody or leathery scents. So this to this day is very unisex fragrance. So something that would totally appeal for both men and women. I don't think there's anything in the market that smells like the Marie Celestia. It's one of the notes also that is quite dominant in there. I find is quite it's quite ambery, musky. There's some ambrette in there, which is very sweet, very not sweet but very nice. Gives it a nice tone. I think maybe Dior Homme would be a bit similar to this, which I don't think Dior Homme is particularly masculine. I think everybody could wear that. We've been exposing a lot of people and selling a lot of. It's been very popular, and everybody loves it. It's one of those fragrances. It's not in your face. It's not a big thing. It's really something pretty that everybody enjoys really wearing. And it carries such a great story that, everybody wants to be part of that. Let me see some of the questions that we've received. So, can it be worn by both men and women? Yes, absolutely. The wooden box. Yes. So this is the wooden box. So when we released the Marie Celestia, the recreation, I really was, that was in 2014. We did the launch in New York in the studios of Drôme, where Jean-Claude Delville was working at the time. And Drôme was the company that helped us to do the gas chromatography. So we did it there. And it was really fascinating because one of the time when you can have in the same room movie stars as well as historians, archaeologists, and perfumers. That was the first time for me, and I don't think we'll see that very much again. But so the wooden box is a genuine Bermuda cedar box that we had crafted by Mickey Fogo, who's a fabulous carpenter here in St. George's. And Bermuda cedar is only grows in Bermuda. It's very precious to our island. And we adorned it with the seal of the Marie Celestia, which is a $30 gold coin. And that was around the bottle. And it's a $30 gold coin reproduction that was done by the Royal Mint. And that depicts the shipwreck of the Marie Celestia. We made 1,864 bottles. They were all numbered, and they sold out. And part of the proceeds were used to finance the PADI certifications for young Bermudians so they can start to explore more of our Bermuda shipwrecks. I had got a great email this morning, very timely, from Sarah Westhead telling me how her son, whom I financed the PADI certification 5 years ago, is now a master diver. He's in England right now doing some kind of really, really fancy certification so he can come back to Bermuda as a master diver. And it all started thanks to the proceeds from Marie Celestia. So now, I mean, and this was very expensive because of the, of the function. It was a fundraiser. So, I mean, it still is a fundraiser. Lili Bermuda Foundation is very alive, and we continue to support young divers in Bermuda who want to get certified. We do it all the time. We did it for the Bermuda Regiment. They have a junior league of young men who want to start diving, and we support them very much. The fragrance now comes in our Lili Bermuda Legacy Collection box, which is white. It still adorns the stamp of the Marie Celestia, and now it's retailed for $130. We do also have a travel atomizer. I didn't bring it with me, but because we don't have samples, we haven't done a sample for this because it's very, very small production. So so the travel atomizer is an easy way to try it, and we've sent tons in the last few months around. Other questions? What is the best method to purchase a bottle of this perfume? Directly online or through a link of your Facebook page? I'm not sure about Facebook. I think you can buy it through Facebook, but it's probably just to be on the safe side, I would buy it on our website, lilibermuda.com. And you're going to see a link, which is both in the men or the women's fragrances, called Marie Celestia, and it's the same fragrance for men or for women. Okay, it's there's no Marie Celestia for men and Marie Celestia for women. It's the same one for both. Will you be reenacting the perfume making class in St. George's? Yes, I do perfume classes. Yes, you know what? I'm still recovering from the pandemic. I've been traumatized by the whole thing. It's been really, really. I don't want to talk about that. I'm finally coming out of my shell and reconnecting with my Lili lovers that I've missed so much. Yes, I want to redo the workshops. Give me a couple of months, and I'm going to set up my oleander room, and I think I'm going to invent a little bit of the perfume shops. I think we're going to get rid of a few things, make it a little more simpler, easier, and less time consuming for people. It used to be 4 hours. Now I want to make it like more of an hour, 90 minutes version to make sure it's accessible to as many people as possible. Another question. Is the Marie Celestia an eau de parfum or eau de toilette? It's an eau de parfum. So we make it at a dilution of around 15%. Now it's very, very, it stays on skin for a very, very long time. As you know, perfume, eau de toilette, eau de parfum is it's really the intensity of the essential oils and the alcohol that calls it the name. And eau de parfum is kind of halfway between an eau de toilette and a perfume. And it stays on skin very long, very, but again, there's lots of difference between some people, perfume just never stays on their skin. Other people, it stays for a long time. Another question. I have always, what's that? Oh, it's your daughter's 25th birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday.
So Isabel, you're the one who I was going to have it mailed to me here in Virginia.
Oh, very nice.
And mail it to her in San Diego, but we ended up sending it straight to San Diego. So her boyfriend has it hidden. And
yes, I remember that. Yes. Oh, yes. Excellent.
Yeah.
That's fabulous.
So that'll be a nice keepsake because I've given them the library samples before
Yeah.
and let them pick which one they like. She liked petals, and that's why I asked about the sample because, there's a good chance I have 3 daughters that one of them would like this. So I was going to go for the samples first, but
Yes, well, the fragrance library is very much very popular because everybody finds something that they love in there.
okay,
So
yeah, but Nikki picked the petals, so that's what she's going to get. So
excellent. Good choice. Good choice, Ricky. Very good. All right. I'm just going to go through some of the questions. Do you have plans to do another release in the wooden box? Well, I have some plans for Christmas. I'm polishing a fragrance that inspired me during that horrible lockdown. Um, and I may release it, may not release it. And I just have to. Perfume is a labor of love. It takes time. And I have to see if I'm ready also, as I said, it's been a very weird time. And I was thinking if I decide to release it, yes, I would release it in a cedar box. But I don't think I'm gonna do that to Marie Celestia anytime soon. I want to Marie Celestia. Everybody who owns one of the 1864 bottles, it was special. And I'm the kind of girl who likes to keep things special. If we release it all the time, then it's not special anymore. So I think I'm going to keep it like that for a bit. Yeah. What's that? I have Gabrielle next to me who's helping me. Let's see. Um, what about young women? I think everybody loves Marie Celestia. It's pretty nice. However, young people usually tend to like things that are a bit on the sweet side. Like they like the vanillas, they like the fruity things. This is a little more grown up than that. I don't think it's sweet. I think it's elegant. It has a lot of beautiful sillage. It dries really well. It trails very well, but it's not like one of those big fragrance that's empowering. Oh, okay. So somebody just joined us late and says, I missed the story. Where can I read it? There's a great article in the magazine Atlas Obscura that was just published about, I would say, 45 days ago. If you Google Atlas Obscura shipwreck Marie Celestia, you'll get the story, and it's brilliant. I mean, I've small perfumery in Bermuda. We've shipped perfume all around the world. Funny enough, especially this time around to Japan, we shipped a lot of perfume to Japan. Shipped a lot of perfume to Brazil, of all the place, and they absolutely love the Marie Celestia. Are we gonna do a body lotion of Marie Celestia? I don't think so. This is too special. We keep it in that bottle like that. You talked about young men with Patty. What about young women? Well, of course, I just showed a picture of my daughter, Marie Sophie. She was she was my advertiser. We love women. We totally support women doing doing diving. I think it goes without saying. I have 2 daughters and a son, so we're totally in for that. Listen, it was really, really wonderful to have you in my garden with me. I'm going to say goodbye. And if you have more questions, please send them to me. And I look forward to, hey, please also come think about visiting Bermuda. It's almost COVID-free. And it's very hard to get in here. But once you pass all the tests, you're in the land of magnificent beauty. And we're really, really eager for our visitors to come to see us again.
So I have one favor. Can you say happy birthday to Nikki one more time?
Oh, yes. Happy birthday, Nikki.
That'll embarrass her completely. So, but she'll like that.
Absolutely. And please come to see us in Bermuda soon.
I haven't been since 1997, so I'm way overdue.
Yeah, you're due to come back. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks, Isabel.
My pleasure. All right, everyone. It was really nice to see you. I'm going to say cheers, and hopefully we'll cheer very soon in Bermuda. Cheers to you all. Ciao.